Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use Excel to create your vector graphs. First, open up Excel, and now what we're going to do is create X and Y coordinate areas. These areas will have to be unique for each vector that you are going to work with. So we are going to create 3 vectors, and you can create as many vectors as you want, but you do need to create your own area for each one of those, right? Next, for this very first one, I'm going to put in 0 and 0 for there. And let's say for my top of my graph, now this is going to have to be in rectangular format. So if you have it in polar format, you will have to convert into a rectangular format. So let's go 3, 4. So 3 on the x-axis, 4 on the y-axis. We'll do the same thing here. 0, 0 is my starting point, and I will put here, let's go -5, and we'll keep this at, let's say, 6 on the x-axis. And 0, 0 is the starting point for the next one, and I'm going to make this one at a 7 and a -4 here, right? And let's just go and finish off with 0, 0, just to kind of show you we can do multiples. And this is going to be in the first quadrant. This is going to be in the second quadrant. We need one in the fourth quadrant, because this is a third quadrant, because this is in the fourth quadrant. So let's go -2, -4. All right, so we have each one of these vectors that we want to put in there. What we're going to do is we will insert, and we want to do in scatter graph. And you want to do just a line scatter graph right there with straight lines. Now, what we're going to do is that we're not going to select it ahead of time, because the data, and try to make it. Instead, we're going to go right here and go to select data. We're going to go add, and you can call this vector 1 if you want to. Vector 1. And our x-axis will be these two here. And in our y-axis, make sure where it says =1. If you just don't do anything here, or even highlight it, it's going to add it to it. Do not do that. Just backspace over that, and then select your next set. And you can see there our vector points out, and we hit OK. If we want to add a second vector, we call this vector 2. We're going to select our x-axis. Again, it's going to be, we want to select that. We're going to move this out of the way. Actually, hit cancel first. We'll move this out of the way. Hit OK just to keep that in there, because we can do that any time. Again, right click on here, select data, add, vector 2. X series is going to be here. Y series, make sure and delete that. Select your Y series, hit enter. You see your Y series comes on there. And now let's add another one. This will be vector 3. X series here. Oh, edit that one. Backspace over that. Come over here, take that one in. And that's now going to be in our that quadrant, as I said. Let's put our next one in there, our last one. This will be vector 4. X-axis is going to be here. And our y-axis, or y values, I should say axis, y-axis values are here. Hit that, hit OK. And there is our vector graph that can be put into any presentation or anything like that. Now, if you wanted to show the summation of these, all right, let's say I wanted to show a summation of those vectors. So you can do that also. What you need to do is just go insert, and once again, the vector graph, do a line. Where it went to, let's go chart. Trying to put it over on the other one. I want to do a new one. insert. There we go. Now we have it. Okay. Now, one of the things you don't want to do is just simply copy these and control and bring them over to underneath it. So if you want to go an endpoint to endpoint, because to do the vector, you're going to have to subtract them from each one of those. Okay, so let's just go around. We're going to put these two are out of order, so we will just go ahead and switch these when we're ready. And I'm going to start off with 0, again, 3, and 0, and 4. Now that's my very first vector, but what I want to do is I want to continue on this, and I want to put in this next vector in right where this begins. But this is goes from 0 to 3, and this goes from 0 to 5, so -5. So what I need to do is subtract, okay, 5 from 3 to get my endpoint correct. Okay, right? Because we're talking about the vector aspect of it. So this will be at a -2. And I could set that up to be automatically in there if I wanted to. And I'm going to go 4, and we're going to add 6, right? We're going to add 6. So it's 10. And the next one here, we're going to come over here because we want to, actually we want to do this one because this is vector in the third quadrant. We're going to subtract 2 more from that, so it's going to be -4. And we're going to subtract 4 from that, so it's going to be 6. And to finish this one off, again, this is because this is in the fourth quadrant. I'm going to add 7 to this one here, so it's going to be 3. And we're going to subtract 4, it's going to be 2. Okay? And that's the end result where it's going to end up at. Now watch this. If I come in here and I kind of add my chart data, select data right here, add, and this again, this might be the very first one. This would be vector 1, and X series is going to be here, the first 2 and only the first 2. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to select the first 2 there. There we go. All right, hit OK. Now I'm going to add my next one, and this is going to be vector 2, and the next ones are going to be from starting point of 3, and it's going to go -2. And as you can see, our series Y, let's subtract, take that out, and I'm going to select those 2 and see how it moves over. Hit OK. And now let's add our vector 3, which is actually vector 4, but we find another graph. But still, we're going to take the next 2. Remember to take the starting point of the last one and grab the next one. Here we go. Okay. And add in our vector 4. X-axis is going to be this last pair here. And as you can see down below and what's happening in that graph, it's adding those vectors behind each other. Hit OK. And hit OK. Now, that is my end result right there. All right? From 0 to 3, 2. And if I wanted to, I could create a 0, 0 here again, just to show that as being my last one. Right click, select data, add a vector. This is resultant, and X values are going to be here, and Y values are going to be here, and OK. Okay, and there you can see that I have vector 1, vector 2, vector 3, vector 4, and that's my resultant value right there. I can copy that. I can put the data on the side of it if I wanted to. I can make sure and have all the labels and stuff for which each one of them on there, just like we would in a normal chart. But that is how you easily bring in a vector graph and with Excel. right? So there are two. Here's the resultant ones and the end. So if you're solving values, and this is the bare graph information. I hope this helps. If it does, give me a like.